Here's a quick recap if you haven't been keeping up with the saga of the Rocky franchise. From 1976 to 1990, Sylvester Stallone appeared in 5 Rocky movies, Rocky 1 through Rocky 5. In 2006, for Rocky Balboa, which was also the final time Rocky Balboa engaged in combat, he made one final appearance in the role. Adonis Donnie Creed, Michael B. Jordan, the son of Rocky's former adversary Apollo Creed and Rocky's new protege, has since taken the franchise's place as the next generation's hero. Jordan has so far appeared in 2 of his own movies, Creed 1, which came out in 2015, and Creed 2, which came out in 2018. Adonis has been trained by Rocky Balboa both times. The series' 3rd episode, Creed 3, was presented in theaters on March 3, 2023. This time, Creed must fight Damian "Dame" Anderson, a former childhood friend who has turned bitterly hostile, Jonathan Majors. The long-awaited 3rd installment won't feature Rocky Balboa in his corner, so he'll have to fight this battle on his own. When discussing Creed 3 with IGN, Jordan specifically addressed what caused Stallone to leave the role. As Michael B. Jordan emerges as the new face of the larger Creed franchise, Sylvester Stallone leaves the Rocky series on screen. Jordan served as the film's director, following in the footsteps of Stallone, who produced 4 of the Rocky films, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, and Rocky Balboa. Regarding Stallone's decision to drop the Rocky Balboa persona, Jordan stated, "We really want to continue to develop this story and the world around Adonis because this is a Creed franchise. So while we always have respect and a ton of love for what Stallone built, we also want to push Adonis and the family he built forward after Creed 2.
Start. I go, you were knocked out. Oh, no, man, let's do it again.
And we didn't even get that one because
just
Tony's
practice.
glove was in the way.
Stallone stated on Instagram in November 2018 that he had no plans to reprise his role as Balboa. Rocky was still alive when that movie ended, but after being diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, his health had started to deteriorate. Rocky's reconciliation with his estranged son, Rocky Balboa Jr., Milo Ventimiglia, was another plot point that neatly wrapped up his character arc. It turns out that Sylvester Stallone's departure was influenced by events that took place behind the scenes, in addition to Michael B. Jordan's desire to center the Creed franchise more firmly on Adonis Creed. He admitted to The Hollywood Reporter in November 2022 that he wasn't exactly thrilled with Creed 3's artistic direction. It was handled in a way that was very different from how I would have handled it. He continued, "I like my heroes getting beat up. I just don't want them going into that dark space. It's a different philosophy. People already have enough darkness, I think."
That morning before, or whatever the hell it
What
is.
this
just
character
with
had
that
done.
character, all in the character's perspective, POV, and that.
Additionally, Stallone has made it known in the public that he and producer Irwin Winkler do not get along. The rights to the Rocky series, which Stallone sold back when the first movie was released, have been the source of contention between the two for years. He revealed to SiriusXM's Jessica Shaw that the rivalry was what ultimately led him to give up playing Rocky Balboa. "You can't make peace with someone who's been so nefarious, in my opinion," he said.
Can I do this? Can I do that? Oh yeah, all your sons want to be producers? Sure, that's fine.
However, Stallone does say that he would be open to returning if Jordan made Creed 4 without Winkler. The Rocky franchise will undoubtedly feel very different without Rocky Balboa, but Michael B. Jordan should more than make up for it. Actually, he's been carrying the franchise on his strong shoulders for quite some time. The training wheels are no longer in place this time, though. The news of Sylvester Stallone's departure has, understandably, made headlines, but Ivan Drago's absence from Creed 3 is also puzzling. Ivan Drago, played by Dolph Lundgren, is another member of the Rocky franchise whose absence from Creed 3 is regrettable. The Rocky 4 antagonist was reintroduced to audiences in Creed 2, which was released 33 years later for the first time since 1985.
You do this to me, now I'm going to do this to you and your boy.
My son will break your boy.
The fact that Ivan Drago came back gave him redemption and increased sympathy, and it also left room for another visit. As Ivan Drago's absence from the plot while his son Victor returns is quite confusing, this should have happened in Creed 3.
Right? I felt it in my butt. You hit me at the top of my head, it went down my spine, literally like a bolt of lightning.
In Creed 3, Victor Drago reprises his supporting role as the character who initially challenged Florian Munteanu for the World Heavyweight title. The reason Ivan Drago is not with Victor as he trains to face Felix Chavez in the United States is not made clear in the film. Ivan was still working with Victor during the final scene of Creed II, where the two characters were last seen. It's strange to see his son getting ready for one of his biggest fights without Ivan by his side. Ivan Drago was an easy character to add to Creed III. The fact that Ivan Drago is expected to return is good news for the Rocky franchise's future. Dolph Lundgren will return as the Rocky IV villain in the Drago spin-off movie that MGM and Amazon are working on. The Creed spin-off film is also anticipated to star Victor Drago, played by Florian Munteanu. There are no plot details at this time, but the development of a Drago film starring Dolph Lundgren guarantees that fans will see more of the Rocky character in the future. By revealing what Ivan Drago was doing during this time, the film should even assist in explaining why he was absent from Creed III. Adonis's boxing career is also perfectly wrapped up in Creed III. Although Adonis comes out of retirement to take on Damien, there isn't a compelling enough reason for him to do so. His passion will always be boxing, but it turned out to be more harmful than beneficial. It put his family under stress, as seen in the scene where Amara overhears Creed and Bianca fighting. Adonis regrets that his daughter had to see it and is aware of the harm his career has done to them both. When Adonis is with Bianca and Amara, he appears to be the happiest. When they are all together at his mother Marianne's house, and he dresses as a frog to have a tea party with Amara at the beginning of the movie, it is clear.
That community and that family, it really helped out and informed me on how to actually capture like an ASL family.
Marianne's passing serves as an emotional reminder to Adonis of the value of his family and the need for him to put them first. This is another reason why returning to boxing after fighting with Damien wouldn't make sense. For him, winning the match sufficed. He was able to consider his history with Damien thanks to the fight. It forced him to admit his errors and express regret for forsaking his friend and failing to get in touch with him over the years. Adonis may have retired from boxing, but the Rocky movie series can go on. As Rocky did for him, Adonis devotes his time to training new boxers before returning to the ring to face Damien. One boxer is Felix Chavez. Damien defeats Felix in a fight, and it would be interesting to see how Felix copes with his loss. This might be the premise of a future Creed movie if it makes him even more determined to win. If the two contestants meet again, this might also aid in advancing Damien's narrative. At the conclusion of Creed III, Amara, Adonis's daughter, expresses interest in boxing while working out with her father. Despite the fact that she is still very young, this might be an interesting angle. Another choice would be to center the narrative on Rocky's grandson, which would be the ideal way for Sylvester Stallone to make a comeback to the silver screen. There are still many paths to take, even after Adonis retires. There is still room for more Rocky films, because Creed III doesn't have to be the last one, and Michael B. Jordan doesn't seem to want it to be. That's all for today, guys. Cheers!